This is a message from your guides reading for Still Awakening. Okay, I have, let's see, 5 crystals here. And I'm going to go ahead and surround us in some protective energy with my rose quartz. Okay, I feel like I should do a little bit of clearing here. I'm going to go ahead and go over these crystals quickly. So, rose quartz, this is a heart chakra stone. Harmony, peace, comforting, positive emotions, love, friendship. It also helps your relationship with yourself as well. Then I have my green fluorite here. So this is another heart chakra stone, and this has to do with calming, healing, grounding, centering, healing. I don't know if I already said healing, but healing as well. Then I have my fuchsite here. So this also has to do with healing, and there are some heart chakra energies in there with the color. I'm not sure what chakra this one actually corresponds with, though. It is very grounding, and it helps you to retrieve information that will help you to heal. So almost kind of soul retrieval type of thing, retrieving parts of yourself, becoming more aware of yourself, past life information, and then just in general, what needs to be healed and how to heal it. Then I have my obsidian. So deflecting negative energy, psychic protection, you probably know what that one is about. I think maybe I've pulled that one for you before, or maybe not, because I've done 50,000 readings, so I could be getting this confused. So this is my lapis lazuli, and somehow I usually have an okay memory, at least, usually pretty good when it comes to remembering certain things about readings, even though I do so many of them. I surprise myself. But anyway, so this is for the whole group. All the monthlies that I'm doing today. And this has to do with the throat chakra and also the third eye. So creativity, willpower, intuition with the throat chakra, communication, communicating authentically, being who you are in an authentic way, showing yourself. And then with the third eye, clear, positive thinking, mental focus, and then also psychic abilities, connecting with your guides. Okay, so we're going to do some clearing with the lapis lazuli here. I've got a female guide coming up. So this guide is definitely there to clear you, as I don't know if that's the only thing that she does, but that's definitely a big part of what she does. There's this certain energy when I feel a guide that is helping somebody to clear. It almost feels like a being type, but I don't know if that's actually a being type or just coming through with a certain almost energy of their job in a sense. No, that does feel like a being type. But I don't really have a name for that. Like, I've felt this specific energy, this specific being type, I'm going to call it, in several readings, not that many. But I've never like read any material that describes this exact kind of entity. So I've never really heard of a specific name for it. There's always something going on with your throat chakra. Because tapping into it, there's almost this feeling in there of almost like it being swollen. Obviously, energetically, or at least I'm assuming for the most part energetically, but it feels almost like swollen. And almost like it's forced to communicate in a certain way. It's very related to fears, the reason why this chakra is blocked. And this really feels like this is one of your deepest blocks. It doesn't feel like it's really a matter of clearing it. Even though they are guiding me to send energy to this area, because it feels like it's a matter of doing things differently in a different way. What if you were to even just stop communicating? I wonder if that would almost help this chakra, as weird as that sounds. But it feels like it's forced to express itself in a specific way, in a certain way, that you almost think is acceptable. There's this feeling a lot with a lot of your readings. But you're not always, it's not necessarily things that you are aware of. That's one of the things about this block. When you're living in society, they can condition you and program you to come across in a certain way, to the point that it can be very difficult to let some of those things go, or even to be able to really identify them where you could remove them. So in other words, they're kind of hidden. Some of it has to do with people that you have been around, though. I don't know if you're currently around them, because a lot of this feels like a past thing. And I know some of this is kind of a repeat, but there's just this feeling from your guides like they need to repeat it. It feels like this is still valid information. So this is information that you need to know, even if they've kind of repeated it before, or maybe in a slightly different way. But there's a feeling like eventually this is going to click. It feels like you need to figure out what this is. I don't feel like they're just going to give it to me either. Definitely they'll give me some things that can help to expose something and help to, in other words, make you aware of something is what I mean by expose something, because it does feel like something that you're not necessarily that aware of. It feels like it's something a little bit more hidden or subtle. And again, it just feels like probably because you've always been that way, or you've been that way for a very long time. You're not necessarily going to feel like it's abnormal, really. And I'm kind of getting a pain here in my chest. So there's also something with the heart chakra going on here, but it feels like it goes back to the throat. It is affected by the throat. So your guides are saying that stillness, the idea of stillness, which you were asking about in the email, is that what your name means, still awakening, or does it mean the more obvious version of the other thing you were saying, like it's an ongoing process? So stillness is definitely a huge part of it. That's a little bit more hidden. You're not necessarily going to think of that interpretation right away. But I feel like there's a feeling from them like that was there on purpose. It's a little bit more subtle, and almost something that you need to kind of get or grasp. The other one is a little bit more obvious, and that one is also true. So it doesn't feel like there's just one right way to say this. There could even be something that you're not really thinking of. As in, still, now. I didn't mean to say part of your code name there. I mean, as in, you know what I'm trying to say. You know, you know what I'm trying to say. Pun totally not intended there, and I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, so that is all that they have to say for this reading. There is a feeling, kind of a slight feeling though, because you would need to do other things too, for sure. But I do get a feeling of crystals and almost using crystals, but it feels like they would have to, they couldn't just have to do with the throat or the heart chakra or something like this. They would need to be more about figuring this out. Figuring out what your hidden blocks are. So crystals are not, I feel like that's really the message for this reading, and figuring this out and really asking them what this is and kind of getting to the bottom of it, figuring some of the specific things out that you might be doing. I already feel like some of it you're not so much anymore. Okay, so we are to the time limits. We're over, actually, as usual. 10 minutes is a little hard. It's hard to do a little 10-minute reading when guides want to talk, and clear in this case as well. But anyway, so thank you so much, Still Awakening, for another reading. I truly hope that this has benefited you. Thank you very much. Namaste.